Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Just a quick video from me today as I pull on the England top and we start to look ahead to the World Cup this winter. Still strange to think the World Cup will be on in the winter, on the lead up to Christmas. Will be very different, but I might have it on a few days early because Newcastle do still have a Premier League game this weekend where we take on Chelsea at St James's Park, under the lights, 5:30 kick-off. I'm hoping we can go out with a bang. But the reason the England top is on is because England have now released their squad for the World Cup this winter. And headline news for us Newcastle fans is that Wilson is on the plane and is heading to the World Cup with England. Big up Callum Wilson, absolutely buzzing for him, alongside Trippier and Pope. And obviously they aren't the only Newcastle players going to the World Cup. We have Bruno, we have Shaw as well. Big up Wilson, Trippier and Pope though. Sad news that maybe Dan Burn didn't make it onto the plane. I thought he had I really thought he had a shout. To be honest, I didn't think Southgate would take him, but... And we will go through the whole squad, a bit of like a reaction video to kind of who Southgate's picked there. But, you know, maybe he could have been involved. But as I say, the headline is Callum Wilson's going. As it happens, Gareth Southgate is doing his press conference right now. And I'm just reading some of the tweets that are coming through of what he said. He's actually said that he hasn't personally spoken to Callum Wilson yet about his World Cup inclusion. So... Callum Wilson has probably looked at his Twitter just like all of us and seen that he is going, which I've no doubt he will be buzzing about. And interestingly, Southgate actually said form is the most important thing right now, watching the players in their club matches. So that's what he said about Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson is in fantastic form, and the striker that maybe could have gone, who isn't, is Ivan Toney. But Wilson's been playing great, and you know the striker position's a funny one because really, if Southgate plays the way he does, and it's usually with a single striker, it's going to be a lot of Harry Kane. But who do you want who can do something a little bit different? Wilson will chase in behind. Wilson has that little extra bit of pace and can put the ball in the back of the net. So absolutely buzzing for Callum Wilson. To just go through the squad generally, the three goalkeepers are Jordan Pickford, Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsdale. So big up Nick Pope, as I say, going to the World Cup. He's obviously been a fantastic goalkeeper for Newcastle. It's a shame that when he got a chance in the friendlies, was it a friendly or was it Nations League? When he played recently, because Pickford was injured, he didn't have the greatest of games. And I think that was probably the moment where he could have had the chance to nick Pickford's spot. And I know we have the laugh with Pickford and the tiny arms. Generally for England, he does all right. And as I say, unfortunately, despite the fact that I would go as far to say that Nick Pope's a better goalkeeper for Newcastle. It's just a shame that when it got to England, he didn't have the greatest of games. And it's not to say that you have one bad game and all of a sudden you're not a good goalie. But we already know that Southgate prefers Pickford. And because of that, that's probably who will start. So let me know your thoughts on the goalkeepers. The defenders. Now this is a funny one because there's been a whole host of injury issues with players who can't go. We had no left backs, we had no right backs. But it is Alexander-Arnold, Connor Cody, Eric Dyer, Maguire, Shaw, Stones, Trippier, Walker, Ben White. Ben White's been in fantastic form, so has Trippier. In fairness, Connor Cody has done okay as well. John Stones is a very good player. I really like Kyle Walker coming back from injury, but he plays in that kind of role that Southgate likes on the right-hand side of the centre-backs and all that kind of thing. But Chilwell was ruled out, Reece James was ruled out, and basically we were having a bit of trouble with who we were going to bring. So I genuinely thought that Dan Burn would make it. we talk about some of the players like, for example, Eric Dyer, who I watched play in the Spurs versus Liverpool game, and he had an absolute shocker. I don't watch enough of Eric Dyer to have too much of a comment, to be honest, but what I've seen, he hasn't looked great. And Maguire, he's going to be the talking point for a lot of people. Should he be there? Should we be taking him? He doesn't play. And to go from not playing games into an elite tournament with the best players from all around the world when you haven't played is strange, especially when, as I say, talking about Callum Wilson, Gareth Southgate said, form is the most important thing right now. Watching the players in their club matches. Well, I don't know how he's been watching Maguire unless he's been going down to the training matches because he hasn't been getting a game. And look, form's important. But I also understand that Southgate only gets so much time with these players a couple of times a year, and to build up formations, to build up relationships, to build up all of this kind of stuff, it's tough to pick different players every time. It's hard to keep any sort of continuity when he's not getting a game anymore. He's injured now. Well, we'll have him and they've not had a lot of time. So I can see to a degree why he's picked him and why he's picked some other players as well. But when you haven't played all season, for me, it's just not good enough. He's going to be the big talking point, and it'll be on the pitch. If he gets played and he plays great, it'll be a well done Southgate. Why aren't Manchester United playing him? If he comes and he does terrible, everyone turns around and goes, well, we know he's been bad. He's not got a game for them either. So that's one of them. We go into the midfield, and it's Bellingham. Conor Gallagher made it in as well. Obviously a player that Newcastle were linked with. A very, very talented guy. Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips. You know, he's not been playing either. Has he been injured? He's not been playing for Man City. So again, it's someone that Southgate likes. Who were the alternatives? Could we have found somebody more in form that could have gone, but at the same time he fits the system that Southgate likes, which isn't a very exciting system, especially when we're playing Iran, USA and Wales. And no disrespect, because particularly Wales can really put up a fight, and it would not surprise me if they try to take us down a peg or two. And USA have got some talented players, but the team we've got there should be good enough to beat those countries. And if we go in playing three holding midfielders, it's going to be so frustrating. But you look at the fact that Henderson, and look, Declan Rice is a really good player as well. I like Declan Rice. Bellingham, a young lad, upcoming. It looks really good. It will be great to see him have a good tournament, and then we can push on with him. I think Gallagher's quite a cool guy to bring in as well. Mason Mount's obviously very talented. We'll see how we're set up. And then, in the forward positions, so much talent in here. Foden is so good. Grealish, hope he plays like Almiron. Harry Kane, James Maddison, I'm buzzing for him as well. I know we talk about Newcastle a lot on this channel. James Maddison has been fantastic this season. And if he hadn't have gone, I don't know what else he could have done, to be honest, because he has literally been so good. Despite the fact that Leicester started the season terribly, he was like the shining light of what was going on that side. He was so good. Marcus Rashford, who has picked up a bit of form of late. Saka, who is obviously a very good player as well. Sterling and Callum Wilson. Let me know your thoughts on the squad down below. Let me know your 11 for the opening game down below if you would like to as well. Big up Callum Wilson. Commiserations for Dan Burn. But, as I say, the England top's on. We'll get on with the game this weekend, and then we'll see how England can do this winter. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be doing some World Cup coverage videos as we head, well, into the World Cup. But the Newcastle stuff will continue as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.